Welcome to the Man of Recaps. This is The Night Agent, Season 2. Peter Sutherland is now officially a night agent, which is the secretest type of secret agent you can be. He's investigating a CIA agent who's selling state secrets, but the mission goes bad, they know Peter's here, and Peter's partner gets killed. So it's Peter's turn to call the secret phone in the White House basement where he used to work. Yes, it's a night action emergency. Peter talks to his new boss, Catherine, but since the bad guys knew where they were, there's a leak in night action. He can't trust anyone. So Peter's going dark, fully off the grid to solve this mystery on his own. Meanwhile, Rose Larkin is working for a new tech company where she's developed a super advanced facial recognition software that she's using to sell ads. But when she hears that Peter's missing, she runs a search on him, and turns out her program is better than anything the US government has. Turns out Peter is pretending to be a basketball coach so he could befriend the son of the bad CIA guy and steal his phone to arrange a meetup with his dad. As Peter's chasing this guy down, now he's found by Rose, who didn't realize he was in the middle of an action scene. Things are awkward between our lovebirds. Peter totally ghosted Rose, because turns out when you're a super secret agent, you're not allowed to call your girlfriend. And Peter spends the whole first part of the season telling Rose to get out of here, it's too dangerous. But Rose does have the super advanced tracking program, so she's allowed to stay and help. Long story short, they catch this guy when he tries to go to his kid's basketball game. Peter breaks the bad news to this kid. Sorry, your dad's a traitor who sold state secrets, which of course is Peter's own tragic backstory. Remember, his father was a traitor who sold state secrets. Now this guy feels bad. He confesses the intel he leaked was about a secret Project Foxglove. But before he can say more, oh, he's shot! Yeah, the bad guys have him surrounded, and Peter gets call from their leader, who sounds like a pretty nice guy. But unfortunately, he does have to kill Peter and Rose. Peter escapes and calls to warn Rose just in time, so it's a big chase scene as Peter and Rose are on the phone as he's talking her through how to escape. Rose is caught by the main henchman, big bald guy, but she manages to escape and is saved by Catherine. Turns out Project Foxglove was a secret chemical weapons program, so the bad guys having that is very bad. So Rose is sticking around to help track down this guy, Solomon Vega. Meanwhile, meets Noor, an assistant at the Iranian embassy. She's leaking intel to the CIA to get her and her family into America. And this is especially dangerous because she's kind of dating the head of security, Javad. But Noor catches the ambassador being handed a secret briefcase, and the hander offer is none other than Solomon Vega. So now Noor works with Peter and Rose, gets them into a fancy party where Rose causes a distraction so Noor can pickpocket the keycard. She's gonna hand it off to Peter, who's disguised as a caterer, but just then he's called away. Peter's like, what? I'm just a normal guy. But Javad's like, nah, you're very clearly a secret agent. So Peter has to prove him right by beating all these guys up. With Peter occupied, it falls to Rose to finish the mission. Now it's Noor's turn to cause a distraction while Rose uses Noor's phone to take photos of all the secret docs. She's caught coming out and says she was in the bathroom and found Noor's phone in there, which is only, extremely suspicious. But overall, a successful mission, and as Peter tries to yell at Rose for putting herself in danger, Rose kisses him to shut him up. Stop trying to protect me, man. I'm basically a secret agent too. But now Noor refuses to give them the photos until her family is safely out of Iran. They send an agent to extract them. Unfortunately, no one bothered to tell Noor's teenage brother the plan, and he doesn't want to go. Long story short, this kid grabs a gun and tries to shoot the American agent, who now has to kill him. So yeah, this extraction went pretty bad. He calls Peter with the bad news, but Peter needs those photos, and so he lies to Noor, says it's all good. Oh, rough. And after all this, turns out these documents are not about Project Foxglove. It's totally unrelated. They realize this bad guy is a middleman, an information broker who's spying and selling state secrets to all interested parties. They need to find out who he sold the Project Foxglove intel to. So Catherine pretends she wants to sell state secrets to lure Vega into a trap, but Vega suspected this and lured them into a double trap. But in the end, Peter and Catherine come out on top. Vega, of course, is not saying nothing, but we know who he sold Foxglove to, because we've been following them as a side plot this whole time. It's this nice gentleman, Tomas, who's just a rich socialite, but his father is Victor Bala, former dictator of an unspecified Eastern European country, who's now imprisoned for war crimes using chemical weapons. So Tomas's cousin Marcus is in charge of doing a new chemical weapon attack on American soil, but Tomas wants to make his daddy proud, so he's gonna do a terrorism. And turns out it's happening right now as they steal some of the chemicals they need. Rose talks to chemistry guy to find out what they're gonna steal next. Turns out their next target is to kidnap chemistry guy to make him make the weapons. And Rose is kidnapped too, pretending to be his assistant. To find out where they are, Peter has to set Vega free and have a meeting with the information broker himself. And he is a pretty likable guy who's good at making it sound like he's not doing anything that bad. He's just like, dude, you're facilitating a chemical weapon attack on American soil. Oh, when you put it like that, it sounds pretty bad. But he's willing to help Peter stop it if Peter does a job for him, stealing top secret files from the United Nations. Doing that would be very much against the law, but Peter doesn't care. Rose is in danger, and so to stop a terror attack and save his girlfriend, Peter's going rogue again. Peter goes to Noor for help getting into the UN, but she's pretty mad because she found out her brother was killed. There's a lot of twists and turns with her whole plot, but in the end, her and her mom make it to America. So Peter breaks into the UN, and it's actually super easy. He gets the classified intel, no problem. Catherine's trying to stop Peter, but Solomon Vega grabs her, but Catherine fights back, and ho, kills this guy. Which is kinda too bad. Vega was a nice guy who was just doing this to make money to take care of his sister. Peter delivers the intel to the intelligence broker, and he does tell him where they're making the chemical weapons. But he's like, hey Pete, even though you did it for the right reasons, now you're a traitor who sold state secrets just like your dad was. And now you gotta secretly work for me or else I'll expose you. Meanwhile, Rose and the chemistry guy were forced to make a chemical weapon, but Rose talked to Tomas, who realized he doesn't want to be a bad guy. So Tomas tries to shut this down, which of course doesn't work. His cousin Marcus just kills him by testing the chemical weapon on him. So Rose and chemistry guy try to escape by making some knockout gas, and Peter gets there just in time to help, and the day is saved. Except Marcus is out there going through with the attack right now at the United Nations. Luckily, the good guys figured it out and they managed to disarm the bombs, but Marcus escaped with one more canister. So Rose works her computer magic to find him. Turns out he went to his cousin Tomas's girlfriend's apartment because she lives in the fancy building that all the UN ambassadors were evacuated to. Peter and Rose kill this guy, but it's too late to stop the gas. But Rose learned a little chemistry while she was pretending to be an assistant. She makes a fire in the air vent, so when the chemical weapon kicks on, the fire suppression system closes the vents and the day is saved. But now Peter pulls a Spider-Man on her. We have to break up because as long as we're dating, the bad guys will use you to get to me and you'll be in danger. You'd think Rose would say, forget that, after saving the world 2 seasons in a row, I'm gonna be a secret agent too. But instead, she accepts it, and these two say goodbye forever. Yes, apparently Rose is not coming back in season 3, which seems strange because her and Peter's relationship was the whole core of the show. For now, Peter confesses to stealing the intel from the UN, and he's gonna go to jail. But turns out the intelligence broker sold that intel to this douche who's running for president, and the intel revealed his opponent was the one who sold the original Project Foxglove weapons to Victor Bala years ago and covered it up. Now this guy's gonna win the election, and the intelligence broker, Jacob Monroe, will basically be controlling the next president of the United States. So instead of Peter uselessly going to jail, they're gonna have him go undercover, pretending to still work for the intelligence broker and take him down from the inside. And that's where The Night Agent Season 2 comes to an end. If you liked this recap, hit that subscribe button for more of the best recaps of TV and movies.